Warning: this show contains strong language, brutal opinions, and zero apologies given. Viewer discretion is strongly advised.
Welcome to Savaged Unfiltered, where truth gets raw, opinions stay real, and nothing is off limits. This isn't your average podcast. It's the unfiltered conversation you've been craving. Politics, culture, chaos, we're diving into it all. No scripts, no safe spaces, just savage takes and real talk. You're in the right place. Strap in. It's time to get unfiltered. Savage.
Hey guys, welcome into the show. Welcome in, guys. I'm Savage, Michael Gardner here. Welcome to Savage Unfiltered, guys. Today we're going to be talking about just what's going on in the wrestling world. We lost a huge talent this past week, Karrion Kross, also known on Truth Social and all over social media, including X. Killer Kross has basically been released from the company, and the future is basically unknown for Kevin Caesar, which is his real name. And a lot of people are upset because, especially people that were close to him in the company, basically saying that, the man deserved more. He deserved more in the company. He deserved more pushes. And that being said, so I mean, it's not one, or it's not new for a company like WWE or a TKO. Nick Khan, CEO, president there of WWE, to make these business decisions. Excuse me, for that matter. So we've seen some people release this past year, budget cuts and all that, which I find to be very idiotic when they use that term, budget cuts. Because the company's worth billions and billions of dollars. How much more budgets do they have to cut, right? So that doesn't make sense. But I want to talk a little bit more about Karrion Kross. Um, as for those that follow him, has broken silence on his status with WWE. In recent X posting, confirming in a new interview with Errol Helwani, God, I probably butchered it, guys, that his contract with the company officially expired just this past week on August 10th. Now, Kross, who stressed that interview was legit and not part of a character, detailed the timeline of negotiations he had stated that he and his real wife, Scarlett, had with Paul Triple H Levesque this past year. They also detailed in those negotiations that they would hope a new deal would come out. But before I go there, folks, is this going to be the same outline that we're going to see similar to Ron Killing's character, R-Truth? Because R-Truth was released in some similar of a faction towards excuse me. Damn. Hey, when that pops up, but it pops up. So I mean, it was similar to Kross's release of Ron Killings, but they brought him back due to high demand of popularity of R-Truth. He was released as R-Truth, but rehired back as his real persona, his real name of Ron Killings. Towards the storyline of John Cena's heel turn. And then now, back to our truth. So, I mean, just what the hell is going on with WWE? Now, Karrion Kross's WWE contract offer and expiration. Let's dive into that, right? Because during the interview, Kross explained that despite his contract nearing its end, he did not receive an offer for a new deal until last week. He then detailed the reason why he did not sign the contract that was presented to him during that time. He said that I got the offer. I wanted to know how they came to the valuation of that offer. Just wanted some information, some metrics, some analytics that's supporting to all of that. He wanted to understand just what was in the offer, right? He wanted to basically see if it was going to be possibly a title push in the future. Maybe, Survivor Series being right around the corner. Do they have plans for him for Survivor Series? Do they have any type of work for him? Right? Or is this just uh, a solid release? They have no storyline whatsoever. They have no ideas for this man. Even though that this man has been in WWE for years and has put up with the toolage of leadership of Triple H and match producers, under his tutelage of Triple H, and then, of course, Vince McMahon, and now Nick Khan. So what's next for, Kevin Caesar, otherwise known as Karrion Kross? Is he going to come back as Kevin Caesar, his real name? Because he goes into this, hey, this is how we got here. When I informed about that, they were unwilling to provide that information and told me they had 24 hours to agree to the offer. And I had 24 hours as well to agree to the offer that they were extending of what Kross had said. The next day, he said they went into more conversation. He was asked if he had made up his decision about maybe some type of small-time deal. I guess that wasn't in the works. And then he goes into asking if they had any information regarding any type of pushes, which they had declined to answer at that moment. So, as of right now, folks, Kross has been released from WWE and has been put on what's called a non-active roster on their website at WWE.com. Huh. So, wow. Okay. That says a lot. That says a lot. Now, according to Kross, he still wants to be with WWE. He said this in interviews. He said this on social media. He still wants to be part of the program of this huge sports entertainment company. Despite the breakdown in negotiations, Kross made it very clear, folks, that his goal is to remain with the company. Despite the controversy with upper management despite the lack of storylines for the man. I mean, you want to talk about a key player and a locker room leader. This guy is it, or at least one of them. If he's willing to put up with any type of bullshit character they can give him, I think that's tremendous. I think he's willing to work with them. But apparently, WWE and Triple H and, all the match producers, including Nick Khan, they have nothing for this man, nor his wife, Scarlett. He explained that he wanted to clarify the situation publicly because the uncertainty could affect his and Scarlett's livelihood. No shit. They're unemployed. They're going to be losing millions upon millions of dollars because of not being paid properly, right? I'm sure they have some type of mortgage on their house, right? Car payments, insurance bills along that. Are they going to receive anything? Shit, at least give them a couple of royalties or something from, still merchandise that's been sold even after his release. But now I'm being told that the merchandise that I know of, folks, that I can speak of, have been completely scrapped from the website, right? Right, let me look at this here. Because I want to look this up. Okay. So according to WWE shop of what I'm seeing right now, okay, his merchandise actually is still up. So I do apologize, guys. I don't want to be giving out, fake news here on my show, but his merchandise is still up, right? The turning pain into art, which was his, last set of t-shirts that are available. String them up, knock them down with his finger, with some string holding a puppet. That's all up. Cross Colt, Good Soldier. That's the entire gimmick he was rolling into his towards his release at SummerSlam, which was his last match, guys. This this past couple of weeks there, leading up to the match with Sami Zayn. Uh, so I'm shocked. I really am, and I'm sure the wrestling world is shocked too, guys, by this, because this guy was literally a fucking workhorse. Even Bully Ray on his podcast said the same damn thing. You're gonna push. You're gonna fucking push people. Okay, you should fucking push the people that are getting fucking the pops and that are getting positive fucking reaction during Raw and SmackDown. But apparently WWE doesn't see that, because if they fucking seen it, they would have gave this guy a fucking push, which I fucking think he should have got the fucking push right after the match with Zayn. That I agree. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So I'm glad the merchandise is still up there, which there's only two places you could get it, guys, off of Pro Wrestling Tees, which is Killer Kross's merch, known as Kevin Caesar, which he also recently relaunched his store on Pro Wrestling Tee, which is under his former identity, Killer Kross. Now, he just recently relaunched it on the Pro Wrestling Tees website, according to SE Scoops. And then, of course, WWE.com. So you guys want to do the same thing. This is what I suggest the fans of WWE and pro wrestling should do. Back this man as they backed R-Truth. You want this guy back in WWE instead of on the fucking alumni status, which is the non-active status. He's not fucking retired, so don't put him on the uh, alumni status. He's got a lot of fucking years under his belt. I think the match after Zayn at SummerSlam, he should have got the fucking push. He should have been put in a title predicament. He should have been put against like top contenders. I think I'm not fucking just saying shit and blowing smoke and mirrors, folks. I think he should have got a match with people like Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, maybe fucking Braun Breaker, right? People of that caliber. And people are gonna be like, what? That's fucking crazy. A push already? Why not? He's been in the fucking company for years. He's put up with stupid fashions that, Triple H assigned him with and Vince put him along with. Like, he paid his due, right? So why not give him that push? Right? That's all. He's even said this on interviews, right? The goal has always been to be with WWE. My wife and I still want to be with WWE. I'm at the table for conversations. I did not step out of the conversation, he stated. You know what I mean? We still want to be there. We still want to work it out. This guy is willing to work it out with you, Paul. You have a fucking potential workhorse in the future. Why are you not listening to your top talent? And yes, I consider Kross a top talent persona within the company. Why are you not giving him that opportunity? Give him the opportunity. He deserves it. So, where do we go from here? He also added that an offer was not made for Scarlett. So I guess this new negotiation behind the table, right, behind the curtain in the writer's room or wherever they meet up, right? I don't know where the fuck they meet up. Shit, they could be fucking meeting up at a fucking Hilton, for God's sakes, and talking about this shit, right? I'm joking, guys. It's all done in Stanford. Come on. But this last set of negotiations were not made for his wife, Scarlett. So I give him fucking props. I commend Kross for trying to keep his wife's Scarlett's persona alive in WWE. Because it also states the company wanted to secure his deal first. So I guess it was like some type of new character push with him going solo without a valet or having his wife manage him. Because he also states, no, I was told at one point, because I did acquire, of course, after we deal with you, we'll deal with her. What kind of fucking business fucking conversation is that? Now, I know like the new demeanor in WWE has been very free loose and goosey goose and all that because you can actually see them communicating and engaging with their talent, in the gorilla position there. You check out stuff like WWE on Unreal, right? Is that what it's called? Unreal? Yeah, Unreal on Netflix. And you see Triple H kind of being loose in himself and saying, that was one fucking hell of a match. You did fucking pretty good, and he's playing that fucking, persona like he cares and everything. But we all know that he doesn't fucking care. He's pulling a fucking Vince. Everybody if you can't see that, you're fucking blind. I mean, at one point, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. I was the biggest fan of Triple H, Paul Levesque. I thought he was a fucking wonder in the fucking character. I really did. But this fucking guy has like fucking sold out to corporate. He really has. He's becoming that corporate fucking Triple H once again, where he's trying to like play the good guy, all the time and caring and you know. But who the fuck does that? After we deal with you, we'll deal with her. They're a fucking paired couple, Paul. She comes along with the package, not just Cross. If you're going to make a deal with Cross, why can't you make a deal with Scarlett? So on the full depth interview with Karrion Kross, which was seen this past week on the Hilwaney show, he goes into asking questions on this. Okay. Which I'm just going to kind of paraphrase because, I really didn't have permission from their staff to plug it, but it's all right. You win some, you lose some. So, I mean, in any portion of that interview, could have it been scrapped? Could have it been saved for maybe Paul Triple H to possibly, reconsider Cross? Where's Cross going to go? Because Cross said that WWE pulled the contract offer after 24 hours. After 24 hours, they pulled the offer. Huh. And then this is really fucked up, guys. Really, really fucked up. WWE then tried to quiet Karrion Kross supporters at this past Monday Night Raw. Did you see that, guys? They did their little fucking cinema Hollywood magic where when they were cheering for Kross, they were trying to fade it out, right? Where it didn't you weren't able to hear it on live national television. That's fucked up, guys. That's the same shit that they did for fucking R-Truth that they're doing for Kross. Now get this, guys. According to Dave Meltzer, right, of Wrestling Observer, WWE confiscated Karrion Kross's signs during this past week on Raw, which was the August 11th edition. Yeah. They just fucking confiscated the sign, took them away. That's nothing new, folks. I've been at a couple of events for Raw. And if they don't want signs being observed on TV, they'll just take them. They'll take them and they'll literally, they won't say anything. They'll just take them and they'll dispose them. And then that's that. You can't get them back. They literally have a designated guy, before you walk in, near like this huge dumpster thing or something. It's like a dumpster, but it's like this huge garbage. Sometimes they use dumpsters. And they just throw the signs right in the fucking garbage. Can you imagine that as a little fucking kid, man? With your parents or, whomever, right? And you have like a Karrion Kross sign or any type of sign for that matter. Because of controversies and business dealings like this behind the curtain, right? They don't want it on national television. So they're just going to confiscate it and throw it in the garbage. Right? It's nothing new. And I'm not making this shit up. Because even though I seen it, this has caught attention of fans that threw a huge amount of support for Kross in the last like 6 months. This guy's been getting a fucking pop with the WWE universe for the last 6+ months. And I'm sure WWE has seen it. So like, if it's always about doing what's best for business, right? We heard that before, right? With Vince McMahon's era, we're going to do best for business, right? You would think that would carry over to the Nick Khan era, right? The TKO era, the Netflix era. You think that would carry over? You would think, right? But no. Fans even said, and even Meltzer said on Wrestling Observer, they did confiscate some of the signs. Dave, I don't think it was some. I think it was all the signs. They didn't want any of the signs shown. I went back on that fucking video and I went into a full-blown freeze frame, right? And I freeze framed every fucking segment, right? And I don't remember seeing one fucking cross sign during this past week on Raw. They threw them all the fuck away. And I even heard from a couple people that went to the event themselves that they thought people might chant, but nobody chanted. No. You see what I just did there, folks? They were chanting. Okay? I did that on purpose because the chants you were hearing in the building, cross, 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 they were fading it out with audio blotches that they normally do for people like fucking Dirty Dominic Mysterio, right? Where they hype up the fucking booze. But they were doing something similar like that where they were fading in audio glitches so you wouldn't hear the cross chants. Isn't that some fucked up shit? Now, I'm not telling you guys, if, diehard fucking wrestling fans out there, I'm not telling you guys to go out and, boycott WWE. Don't do that. Don't boycott a company that you grew up with. Oh God, that would be terrible, guys. Don't do shit like that. But at least voice up and demand you want Kross back. Because this guy deserves a push. He really does. Now, here's where the fucked up part is, guys, because I'm losing time on the show and I want to close it out. Despite being one of the top merch sellers, okay? Which, I mean, I didn't know he was the top. I knew he was up there, But being a top merch seller and having major support from fans online, from fans all over the world, social, all that, right? In the stadiums, arenas, WWE did not book them in prominent programs. The only prominent program that you've seen fucking Kross literally headlining anything was his last storyline and his match against Sami Zayn. Am I wrong or right, guys? I mean, Kross took a pair of fucking losses in the last set of weeks leading up to his release. This guy literally was like, I mean, with all due respect to Karrion Kross, he was a bitch of the company, like taking all the fucking hits just for something, just to stay relevant in the business, saying, "Hey, I could be that workhorse." Now, after the release of them being terminated from the company, moreover, now the duo has started taking outside bookings. They even put a post on X last week saying that we are now accepting bookings, whether it's, in indie leagues or podcasting or media appearances. These guys, like this couple, they they love wrestling. Now, since their contract expired and they were released, Cross and Scarlett, they didn't have that 90-day non-compete clause. So typically when you're released, see, they weren't released. They're let me correct that, guys. They were not released, even though we see it of them being released. Their contract expired. So WWE and upper management decided not to renew it. So they weren't released, but I see it as them being released. If they let your contract, expire all the way to the last fucking day, in my eyes, that's no different than a fucking release. You're released from the company. That means you're no longer active on the roster. We don't want you. That's like a big fuck you to their talent, more or less. Okay? But what works out for them is they're not losing, 2.5, 3 months of going on this, 90-day non-compete clause. They can, if they want, they can go on fucking AEW television next week, as early as next week. They can go on TNA if they wanted to. Even though they're partnered with WWE, they could still work for fucking TNA. They can work for any fucking indie league in the country or in the world for that matter. They can go on podcasting. They can do all that shit because they don't have alignment with the company anymore. It's not like they're going to violate that 90-day non-complete clause. So that's good for them. So where do we see this dynamic pair of a real life husband and wife wrestling team go? Where is their new journey? What does the future hold for Scarlett and Karrion Kross? Do they come back to WWE? Right? Are are I mean, because now there's rumors saying, which just surfaced about like a day ago, that Cross is closing on a WWE contract extension. So, wow, I wasn't aware of this. So it's buzzing with reports that Karrion Kross is now thinking about possibly just taking the single deal for now for himself and going back to the company and hopefully can work out a deal to bring his wife along. Um, because it's like, where I go, she goes too. That's a powerful wrestling couple. Wow, I thought Randy Macho Man Savage and Miss Elizabeth were powerful. I thought The Miz and Maurice were popular and powerful. Hell, I even thought that fucking Triple H and Stephanie McMahon were the power couple. But look at these fucking two. They are truly the wrestling power couple. my God, I wish the best for these two. WWE, get your shit together and bring back. Bring back. I want to see next week on Raw or SmackDown the reemergence of Karrion Kross. I don't fucking care if you have to rebrand him and make him Killer Kross or go by his real fucking name of Kevin Caesar and bring back his wife Scarlett. Whatever you have to do, bring this guy back. It's a bad decision on your end to fucking terminate this guy. You got to bring him back. Bring him back. Bring back Kross. Do it. Anyway, guys, thanks for checking out the show. Remember, guys, we are back now on YouTube. You can catch all future episodes, current episodes, live streams, all that, guys, on YouTube. Hopefully they don't pull the plug. I've been fighting for a year and a half to get back on there, and we finally got back. So thank you very much for those that have been supporting me over the last year and a half, and those there at YouTube that have honored my appeals over the last, almost 2 years. So you can catch us all on YouTube now, as well as Rumble, X, Twitch, snippets, clips on TikTok. I mean, we're all over the place. Facebook, anywhere you hear an audio podcast, for that matter, on Spotify, guys. Make sure you hit those 5 stars. Leave a comment. Always appreciate it. Helps out the feed a little bit. And check us out, guys, on our Savage Talk blogs on savageunfiltered.com. Thanks very much, guys. I am Savage, also known as Michael Gardner. And till next time, guys, take it easy.
This had been a Truth Productions media episode. Thank you for listening.